The USA Ryder Cup team: Scheffler, Clark, Harman, Cantlay, Homer, Schauffele, Koepka, Spieth, Morikawa, Burns, Fowler, Thomas. Hello, welcome back. Special episode of the Pro Show today. USA Ryder Cup team, dramatic intro, dramatic tournament. I'm very excited about this. Probably not so excited about the prospects for Team Europe. It's not looking good. The team picks were interesting for the USA team. I've got this screen up in Data Golf. We can see that 9 of the USA players are in the official World Golf Rankings top 20. You know, I'm not a big fan of the official World Golf Rankings because of LIV not being included, etc. If we look at the Data Golf rankings, it gives a slightly different story, and perhaps a bit of a different insight into whether these are good picks or bad picks. So just on Ryder Cup points, you know they are. I went through them in order in the intro. So Koepka and Spieth were pretty close to getting in. Not so much the rest, with Thomas being the obvious bottom of the pile in terms of Ryder Cup points. When we go to Data Golf rankings, which is based off their their true strokes gained in tournaments that they've played recently, weighted more heavily towards recent tournaments, that gives some element of form. We can see that Scotty, Xander, Patrick and Colin are the real top 4. Morikawa not getting in on points, neither here nor there. Him being a captain's pick, 100%, right? He's ahead of Wyndham Clark, ahead of Max Homer, ahead of Brian Harman. So smart pick for sure. Ricky Fowler, again, ahead of Harman, got his pick. Sam Burns, top 20 in Data Golf. Very difficult to argue with just on that basis. And there's more about that, about his pick that we'll come on to. Spieth, 23rd, just outside. And then we scroll on down, and we scroll on down quite a long way. 39th in the world, in the actual world, Koepka. Quite an interesting one. And then we have to go all the way down to 58th to see Justin Thomas. So Thomas is the real controversial pick for me. I think that if you looked at my JT video, if you haven't, go and click on it. It's worth a watch. He did so well in that final tournament where he was trying to qualify for the end of tour season matches. He needed to be inside the top 70. He was like 71st or something. But the belief that he had that he could do it, almost chipping in, pulling off miraculous shots out of the pine straw, etc. I think that, you know, you don't leave JT at home is absolutely right, and I'm a little bit fearful for Thomas's performance, and subsequently the European defeat maybe. So if we go to look at the RC point, we'll do it in RC points. So on this true strokes gained, this is the form over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months and 2 years, and this is a really good way of looking at how people have performed, and if it's just a dip in form that's kept them to where they are, if that they've suddenly started performing really well, which could be out of character, or could be because they had, you know, belief in what they were doing and were trying to gain something, specifically Ryder Cup. So if they're in yellow, it means they're inside the top 12 in that column. So the first 6 is pretty undeniable. Brian Harman, we know he came into a run of form, the Open Championship, around that time. He did the same last year. Again, Brian Harman video, go and check it out. But these guys have all been top 12 competitors for most of the 2-year period that we're talking about. Koepka, big drop off in performance, and remember this, the data golf ranking takes into account other tours. The data isn't quite as substantial, but if we look at Koepka, he hasn't done particularly well in the last few tournaments. Gained on the average in Live London, lost out to the average in the Open Championship, and then lost heavily in the last 2 Live tournaments that he played. And it, you know, people are calling these tournaments exhibitions, saying that they're you know, light fields, only 3 rounds, etc. So I'd be a little bit concerned if I was a USA supporter that this isn't good form, and I've suggested that on social media, and, you know, people have told me that I'm wrong. So we'll see. When he's got it on the line, you know, PGA Championship last year, 4.92 strokes over the field. That's big. That's approaching that 5-stroke mark. Let's see. So Spieth, again, a drop off, and you can see from the little graph there, it's, you know, it's a decline, and there's no real bump up there. And if we just have a little look, you know, he's done okay in the FedEx, but he's just had some shockers. If we look at so there's a lot of cuts, a lot of white fields here where he's just not done too well. But he's got a good record in the Ryder Cup. We've all watched him in his 4 attempts. As a competitor, he's been on a winning side as well as a losing side, half and half. So, you know, I wouldn't write him off. When he can putt, he can putt. And match play for me, being able to own that mental side of things, the owning the emotions of the other team, making long putts, chipping in, hitting your approach shots in first and getting them super close. All this stuff can play a big part in the mental side of it, so or the emotional side of it for your team. Morikawa, as I said, doing well, on the up. Only ever won in the Ryder Cup. He's been in the Ryder Cup once. I think that Colin's probably a standout pick. He was an obvious pick, but for me, I think he's going to be man of the match for the US guys. Sam Burns, he's just not that guy, right? He's 19th in the world on data golf, great at putting, had some good recent successes, but it's just a bit patchy. There's a few missed cuts in there. Yeah, I don't know. As a player, just on his own, not great. Now, pairings is really important. Playing in events myself, match play events, and this is our first year of doing it as a team, the Littlestone B team. Finding those pairings that work has been worth a couple of strokes, we reckon. Me playing with one guy, really good. I feel super comfortable. He knows that he can just play his game, and I can try hard and get birdies, and if I don't get a birdie, it doesn't matter because he would have got the par, and things like that. Sam Burns and Scotty Scheffler, huge friends, been friends for a very long time. Watch out for them being the dream team. I think that the pair of them in four-ball foursomes is going to be formidable, and definitely Sam will be bringing more to the table than it looks just from what we can see from his stats. Ricky Fowler, love Ricky. If you haven't seen the Ricky video yet, why not? Go and see it. Glad he's back. He's super good, and you can see like the last 12 months, he's been top 12. Bit of a drop off in the moving average. I think that getting that win, being pumped up, being part of the team, being picked, I wouldn't bet against Ricky. He's been on the losing side 3 times. He's been on the winning side once. Not the best match player perhaps, but I think right now where he is with his putting, new putter, new method, yeah, he's going to get some points, that's for sure. And then JT, this is awful for me to see. Really off form. Went through it. The JT video tells you all you need to know. But like I say, that last tournament, watching him there, it's going to be something to watch. Now, I'm going to quickly look on the forecast. This is not complete yet because we haven't got the picks, but the predictions are not looking good right now. The chances of winning the Ryder Cup is 56% to the US and 35% to Team Europe. When I do the Team Europe video, we'll see an update in this, and then I'll go through the predictions later on in a further video. That wraps up the Team USA. What do you think of the picks? There's been a lot of stuff in the press, a lot of people chiming in on X, and is it data driven? Is it team personalities, people that have been left out. Is it unfair? Burns over Keegan Bradley? Would Bradley fit in the team? Anyway, let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed it, hit like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.